Before I started my acting career, there were so many things I wish I knew, the stuff that nobody really tells you, and I had to learn on the fly. I want to save you from some of those headaches and give you the tips I wish I had before I started my acting career. What's up, my fellow actors? Welcome to the Acting Career Center, here to help you learn the skills you need to break into the film and television industry. My name is Kurt Yu. Thank you so much for spending some time here with me today. If this is your first time here, make sure to subscribe to this channel to get more videos on acting, auditioning, and career advice. Today, I'm going to be sharing 8 things I wish I knew before I started my acting career. These are the things that could have saved me a lot of time, stress, and frustration. So whether you're just starting out or you've been in the industry for a little while, I think you'll find something valuable here. All right, let's jump into the first thing. It has to do with acting technique. When I first started, I thought acting was all about pretending, just like we did as kids, right? Playing pretend. But over time in my acting classes, I learned that great acting isn't pretending at all. It's about being real and truthful. I remember in this acting class I was in when I first started, I was working on a scene and I was trying so hard to act like the character, to pretend to be this character. My teacher called me out on it and said that it looked fake. What I learned that day was that the most believable performances come when you're bringing yourself into the character. Each of us as human beings will bring a unique interpretation of a role because of who we are. That's what makes a performance authentic and interesting. That's what makes it real. There's a great Meryl Streep quote: "Acting is not about being someone different. It's finding the similarity in what is apparently different, then finding myself in there." Moving on to the second thing I wish I knew, auditioning is its own skill. I remember when I went on my very first audition for a student film, I had already been taking acting classes for a while then, and I felt pretty good about my abilities. But when I walked into that audition, I completely bombed it. The reason was, I think there were a couple of reasons. I was unfamiliar with the situation, and there was a lot of pressure in the moment that I just wasn't used to. This happens to everyone in life, right? Whenever we as people are in unfamiliar circumstances, we tend to get uncomfortable, and especially if there's added pressure on us, then we probably won't perform as well as we normally would. So this is why I say auditioning is its own skill. You have to develop that skill. It doesn't matter if you're a really great actor in your acting class if you can't take those skills and apply them to an unfamiliar and often high-pressure situation of an audition. You have to learn how to be comfortable in that environment and how to deliver a strong performance under pressure. And speaking of auditions, if you haven't already downloaded my audition cheat sheet yet, you can get it from that link right up there. It's my own 10-step audition preparation process that I've used to help me book over 100 roles in movies, TV shows, and commercials. So if you want to download that and use it for yourself for free, you can get it from that link right up there. The third thing I wish I knew is that your work and your income as an actor is going to be a roller coaster. It's easy to look at A-list actors who are rich and famous and think that is the life of every actor, but that's far from the truth. The truth is most actors are not making a fortune from their work. In fact, there's only a very small percentage of actors who are even making a consistent living from their acting income year over year. Personally, I have had years where I've made a living off of my acting income, and I've had years where work was very scarce. That's why I say acting income is a roller coaster, because it's very unpredictable. You have to plan for those ups and downs, whether that means having a side job or being smart about saving when you do get a big paycheck. Speaking of big paychecks, let's talk about commercials. Commercials can make you a lot of money. Now, I didn't know this when I first started. Commercial acting might not seem as glamorous as film or TV acting, but it can be incredibly lucrative. You might find it surprising that a commercial has the potential to pay an actor a lot more money than a movie or a TV show, but that's actually very common, especially with union productions. Let me give you a quick example. A few years ago, I worked on a commercial for Epson scanners. I worked for one day on that shoot. Not too long before that, I worked on the Marvel movie Venom. I worked for one day on that shoot as well. Which one do you think paid more for one day of work? Well, I've probably already given it away since we're talking about it here in this section, but I made more money working one day on a scanner commercial than I did working one day on a Marvel movie. How much more? You might be surprised. My total earnings from working on the movie, that includes my initial day rate plus the residuals that have accumulated since then, total roughly $3,000. My total earnings from working on the scanner commercial, which also include the initial day rate plus the usage fees that have accumulated, total over $50,000. So don't overlook commercials in your acting career. Okay, this next one might be obvious to some of you. Booking acting work is tough. Even the best actors don't book every audition they go on. In fact, if you're booking just 10% of your auditions, most people in the industry would consider that a great percentage. The vast majority of actors have a booking percentage in the single digits. That means you're going to hear no significantly more often than you're going to hear yes. Now, I'm not telling you this to discourage you. I'm telling you that this is something that every actor goes through in this industry. So when you experience it, just know that you're not alone. I once went through a streak where I didn't book a single job in over 80 auditions, and that was after I had been in the industry for over 10 years. Successful actors need to have thick skin and be resilient so that long streaks of not booking doesn't shake their confidence or affect their mental health. Okay, here's another one that will help your performance. Take your ego out of it. When you're acting, it's important to remember that it's not about showing off or trying to impress anyone. It's about serving the story. Understanding how your character fits into the larger narrative will help you make better choices in your performance. If you approach every role with this mindset, you'll stand out for the right reasons. You'll stand out because you're going to look real and believable. If you ever catch yourself thinking in the middle of a scene, oh, I hope I'm doing good, I hope I look good, I hope they like me, that is your ego talking, and you need to get rid of those thoughts, because when you're in your head thinking about yourself, you're not living the scene. You're not present with your scene partner, and you're not going to be able to look believable. Instead, tune out your ego and focus on being fully present in the moment, and let your authenticity bring the character and the story to life. The next thing I wish I knew is that this industry is full of opinions, not facts. Throughout your career, you're going to get feedback from all kinds of people, casting directors, agents, acting coaches, other actors, and everything you hear is all an opinion. There may be times where you hear contradicting recommendations, and that's just different opinions. And it doesn't necessarily mean that one person must be right and the other person must be wrong. They could simply be sharing what has worked for them in their career. And there's no single right path to success in this industry. Part of your job is to seek out as much good advice as possible and then make a decision for yourself on what the right path forward is. It's easy to start doubting yourself when things aren't working, but remember, no single opinion defines your talent or your worth. So take advice, but don't let it consume you. Luck will play a role in your career. There are going to be times where you will do everything right and you're not going to get the part through no fault of your own. And there are other times where a role is just going to fall right into your lap. There's no way to predict which one will happen and when, but remember the famous quote about luck. Luck is when opportunity meets preparation. So the best way to increase your luck is to keep working on your craft, building your network, and staying prepared. Think of it like a raffle. All of those things you're doing in preparation, that's you adding more tickets into the raffle. The more tickets you have in the drawing, the better your chances. The last thing I want to share is that your dreams are possible. When I first started taking acting classes, I was working full-time as a software developer. At that time, I didn't have any plans that change careers or pursue acting professionally. Like many people, I had internalized the belief that a career as an actor was unrealistic and a pipe dream. I believe that because that's what people outside the industry say all the time. But since then, my perspective has completely shifted. What changed? It wasn't just my own journey and eventual success that opened my eyes. It was seeing the success of my classmates and my peers turn their own dreams into a reality. I'm seeing friends of mine get lead roles in major movies and TV shows. So, watching others reach milestones they once thought were unattainable has been a constant reminder that this industry is full of possibilities for those willing to put in the work. Today, my idea of what's possible in this industry continues to expand. Now, success doesn't happen overnight, and it may look different for everyone. But if you stay committed to your goals and embrace the journey, the potential to succeed is absolutely there. Now, I'd like to hear from you. What's the biggest lesson you've learned in your acting career so far? Or if you're just starting out, what's something you wish you knew more about? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, that's it for this video. If you liked it, I'm sure you'll also like this one over here. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, keep practicing, keep learning, and I can't wait to see you on set one day.